You know, as I go on living this life day by day, one thing has become more clear as the years have gone on, and that is that the feeling of deja vu is usually because of a bad thing and not a good thing. Yeah, it seems like these days when I tell myself that something is very familiar, it's just not good. Now, the reason I am bringing that up is because I am feeling some deja vu right now, and that is because just today, it has been announced that a big fan-made mod project for a much older version of Counter-Strike Global Offense, or CSGO, has actually been canceled. In a sort of way, I guess it's not technically canceled, but it has been blocked by Valve from being brought on Steam. This has kind of been the ultimate goal of the project, and this is apparently after 8 years of development. But I still have not explained my deja vu. You see, back in the day, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 1 and 2, those were the days. I know I'm kind of sounding like a boomer here, but you gotta understand these were the days of no payable skins, no sneaky pay-to-win weapon bundles just when that specific weapon gets buffed. There was none of that. You paid $60, you played a game, you had fun. But I'm like a minute into my yapping and I still haven't explained my deja vu, so let me just spill it. If you recall, similar to this classic Counter-Strike fan-made mod remake, these also at one time existed for Call of Duty, kind of to bring back the glory days. They were unofficial projects, just like the Counter-Strike one. They were developed just solely by fans, and they too got this same treatment. They all got a cease and desist. They got nuked by Activision at some point. Yeah, if you remember a couple years ago, we had SM2 shut down. We also had X Labs shut down. These were due to cease and desists, and then about 6 months ago, we had another one get shut down, H2M. Now, it was kind of interesting, because H2M actually used the Call of Duty Modern Warfare engine. Now, that is the Modern Warfare that was released in 2016, and it was really shady because they kind of let people go crazy with the sales of that actual base game, because you needed the base game for the mod, and then they just completely unplugged the mod, like, I think it was like a week before it launched. So that's why I'm having this feeling of deja vu. Now this is with Counter-Strike, not Call of Duty, and I'm thinking Valve is probably canceling this project, likely for the same reason that Activision canceled all of these Call of Duty projects. And can you guess the one word I am thinking? I want you just to yell it at the screen like I'm Steve from Blue's Clues asking you an actual question. Yes, that's right. If you are yelling at your screen the word money right now, congrats, you win. Yeah, I think anybody with any amount of awareness of how these companies actually make money nowadays can very logically, very accurately come to the conclusion that money is the sole reason why projects like these do get canceled. I mean, the Call of Duty projects obviously got canceled because Activision wants people playing their newest Call of Duties so that they will be tempted to buy the new bundles and the new skins. And the same goes for CSGO. You know, with this game, if this game released, even if Valve decided that they deserved a really big share of the revenue of this classic revival, or even let's just say hypothetically they got 100% of the revenue, I am sure the strategists at Valve are probably accurately coming to their conclusion, and that is that they will lose out on money in the long run if a project like this goes live, because people are just going to play it. You'll take a significant chunk of your fan base from the base current game, and you'll have them go to just this classic spin-off remake. Yeah, it won't be 50% of your player base, or maybe even 20%, but let's say it's like 5%. That's a lot of people that are going to be all of a sudden not buying your skins, your loot boxes, etc. So that is, my strong hypothesis on why this actually happened. So yeah, I will link the tweet in the description, but essentially the developers of this classic offensive project, they said in this post, kind of just the origin of the whole thing, that it started back in 2017 and Steam greenlit it back then. Now it is kind of interesting though, because while they do make that point, they do say that ever since the year 2020, Valve has no longer been in communication with them. So, I mean, that could mean a lot of things. I don't know if the last bit of communication from Valve was them saying, hey, we don't want you to go through this project. To be fair, we can't just assume that that was not the case. And even if that wasn't the case, I mean, Valve, it sounds like, has ghosted them for about 5 years now, which if I was the developer of this project, I would think that's pretty shady, and I would probably want some more clarification from Valve before I would continue on with that project, but I guess that's just me. But at the end of the day, what is done is done. Now, they have said that they are going to reach out to Valve. They're going to continue trying to get this on Steam. Even though it has been blocked, I would assume that's going to be way easier said than done. Now, I'm seeing that this project is actually technically live already, not on Steam, but on a platform called ModDB. But obviously, like like I said, them getting this on Steam was probably the very big goal that they have had for a very long time, because obviously you are going to make your project extremely available to your target audience. But as has been confirmed today, and I don't think it is going to change, Valve has officially rejected this project to be live on Steam. I feel very, very bad for developers who spend all of this time on a project all for a cease and desist to come through and kind of just shatter their dreams. But at the same time, I guess the original developers, the original studio here, Valve, I am sure they have their reasons, but it's still a choice that is likely going to be very unpopular with their fan base.